What am I doing so wrong? Talking to him. That's wrong?
Your personal life with Dusty is affecting our entire household right now.
Don't try and sit here like, oh, you're so good. No, you're not, okay?
I'm not.
I hate you.
Do you hate your mother?
Yes.
Why do you hate her?
She is a bitch. You think you know everything, Dad? You really do.
I'm asking for some respect in my home.
You are being rude and disrespectful to everybody involved.
I'm gonna walk off, and it's over.
Okay, but you understand that you're not telling the truth, and I can't help you.
I don't care, then I'm done.
Okay. You're back.
No kidding.
Okay, well, you're back again.
Yeah.
So you were really upset after the last show because you said you were made to look crazy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that now?
I don't know, I just want to redeem myself a little. I just felt like no one saw behind the scenes what was happening, you know? And everyone was questioning me all at once, and, you know, I was trying to stick up for myself, and I came off rude, but it was just a lot.
Yeah, well, you were rude. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
There's no other way to describe that. And here's the thing, I have to deal with the facts. And, you know, I asked you if you were dating Dusty, you said no. But you were.
At the time, we weren't.
You had seen him the night before.
Yeah.
And I asked you about that, and you said no. And, in fact, you had. You were lying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line. And you went to 2 therapy sessions with your family when you left here. You got kicked out after 2 sessions, right? Why?
Well, I didn't want to be there, and I was trying to talk, and my mom would interrupt me, and I'd be like, can I talk? And she would just keep talking. So I was getting mad, and she's like, well, can you just step out of the room for a second? Well, when I stepped out of the room, I just left.
Yeah.
And I never came back.
Well, Chloe was in conflict with everyone on the show that we were talking about before. There wasn't one person on the stage that she got along with. Take a look, and then we'll talk about it.
I'm not gonna let my mom sit here and talk like she does all the time.
All right, so
Look at her right now. Oh, like,
Chloe, she's upset.
I don't care if
I mean
she's
business.
upset.
I mean business, Chloe. We need
Good for
help.
you, Mom. They take my car, they take my phone. For what? You think I can't get another phone? You think he can't come see me?
How about because we're your parents? And if we want to take your phone, your car, computer privileges, we will.
you have to acknowledge their position of authority at this point. It doesn't mean you agree with it, but you can't just say, I'm going to do what I want, whether you like it or whether you don't. Now, you say that you actually are not living at home right now.
No, I'm not. I moved out to Kansas.
Right. You left there and moved to Kansas.
Yes.
And why Kansas?
My dad's out there.
Your biological dad, because this is your stepfather that we were just saw on the tape.
Yes.
Now, Lonnie is Chloe's mom. She told us there are several areas where Chloe needs to clean up her act. And one of the questions you posed for me is, how do you move back home? How do you get back on track, right? I mean, because right now things aren't going very well. You're working where?
It's at a jelly factory.
At a jelly factory?
Yeah.
Do you make jelly?
Well, no, I put caps on jars and put them in boxes.
You put caps on jars. Well, that's honest work. Your mom thinks that you need to return to college. She wants you to strive for a career that you can feel good about, other than working in a jelly factory. She wants you to be safe, and she just thinks that you're not really safe. And this job can be dangerous that you're on, right? Didn't you get injured recently?
Yeah.
What happened?
I was taking salsa off the conveyor belt and it just dumped on me. And I have a big burn on my arm.
You actually have a trust fund that'll pay for college, right?
Yes.
And it'll give you cash on top of that for living expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually had the opportunity to play basketball in college. You could be going to college funded by your trust fund plus paying you some money. You could be playing sports and accomplishing something there, but instead you're in Kansas working in a jelly factory.
Yeah.
I mean, how's all that working for you?
Well, when I originally moved down to Kansas, I was enrolled in Washburn University, and I was going to play basketball there too, because I was on the team. And then stuff happened with my dad, and I had to drop out. When I got home, me and Dusty actually dated again, probably in June, for a good month. And it was the most serious we've probably been. And then he started cheating on me.
Things got stressful because the other girl that I was seeing kind of got in the way.
When that happened, I just told Dusty that I'm gonna be done with him and move to Kansas. Of course, I missed him.
I got my number changed, and then she ended up giving me this sob story how she's so alone. So I gave her my number once, and then she like went overboard with it. She blew up my phone all night, texted me all the time. She had like 3 other numbers she was calling me on. I had her blocked. It gets really annoying.
It's been about 3.5 months since I've seen Dusty. When I first saw him, it was just like I never left.
Chloe is persistent at not giving up.
You said you didn't have a girlfriend, and you're separated on Facebook, remember?
You can't like expect me to come all the way to LA and just like fall for you again.
I didn't say that.
Not like I'm gonna get together and have sex with her and work things out with her. I don't plan on doing anything like that.
And you broke up with me, and then you started cheating on her with me, so.
I don't cheat on people. I just want to understand that I just like her as a friend.
Yeah, you said you kind of have a girlfriend. You love her?
I mean, kind of girlfriend.
Being here for a day will definitely give us time to reconnect. I think we'll hang out a lot. I love Dusty. I'll probably love him forever.
When you were here before, you were pretty belligerent with people, which doesn't seem to actually be your character. Why do you think, what was affecting you at the time?
I was getting accused of stealing or having her steal $10,000 from her parents, which it had nothing to do with me, Yeah.
Were you doing drugs when you were here before?
When I was here? No.
So you weren't involved with heroin then?
Oh, not heroin, Oxycontin.
Since the show, did you get involved with heroin?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You were doing like $100 a day?
Yes.
Of heroin? And you stopped that, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
My good friend died over July 5th, yeah. It kind of changed a lot of perspective with me and drugs.
He overdosed?
Overdosed, yeah. People left him in someone's yard to die.
That was kind of a wake-up call to you to not be messing with that stuff?
Right.
Well, really, I mean, that's dangerous stuff, and I'm glad that you're not doing that. You're in love with him?
Yeah, I mean, I think so anyways.
Yeah. Is she still after you pretty much?
Yeah. I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus like last time,
You've had to block her phone number so she can't call you?
Yes.
And you've got 2 phones and you only gave her 1 number, right?
Yes.
Until yesterday when I found out he had 2 phones.
So you squeezed that number out of him?
Yeah. I
No,
don't
she just knew.
remember.
It was one of my old ones, and she just...
See, this is what I don't get. This is what nobody here gets, because we look at you and you are just gorgeous and you're intelligent and you can be charming. You can be really not charming, but you can really be charming. And it seems to me that you can talk about flaws or fallacies with Dusty or whatever, but it does seem to me that at one level he's been pretty straight with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been pretty honest with her that you don't want a relationship, right? You don't see a future with her romantically, like getting married or whatever. True?
I'm not really trying to have a relationship on my back.
Yeah. And you have girlfriends, right?
Yeah.
You have, well, you know he has girlfriends because you crawled through his bedroom window when one of them was over there, correct?
Well, I was dating him at the time, so I think I had a right.
To crawl through his window?
Well,
You crawled through his window and she was there?
yeah, well, I knew she was there because her car was outside, so.
That's why you crawled through the window?
Yeah, because she was laying there in his bed. I was like, I probably overreacted again.
You don't know Dusty at all, right?
I just know of Dusty.
And you know that he's had some conflict with the law himself. How do you feel about that?
I don't feel very good about it. When Chloe came here, for me to get to know her, I was amazed because me and that girl are so much alike. We say a lot of the same things. Our behaviors, our hand movements, everything is very similar. And the fact that Dusty's so much like me and Chloe connected real well. But I don't really care, which way Chloe goes in life as far as with Dusty. She's going to do what she wants. I don't want to see her to end up like me. And, as much as I hate to say it, her seeing what happened to me is a good example of what happens when you go the wrong way in life. And I hope she learned something from that. It's sad to say, but I really do, because I would never want to see her go in the steps that I have.
I have to step back and look at what your journey has been. Here you've got a father that spent 14 of your 18 years in jail. You didn't know he existed for half your life. You reach out to him and go see him. You're driving down the street, he gets busted, you got a gun pointed at you, cuffs thrown on you. He's back in jail for over 2 years now. So that 14 years will now become 16 years out of 20 for you. You're living in a situation where your mother has married someone new and they have a second family there, and everybody seems to just be peachy, and then here you are kind of on the periphery of all of this. Is that a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm.
But don't you get tired of fighting?
Yeah.
Doesn't it really get tiresome?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
I have no idea at this point. I would like to stay in Kansas, and I really don't think I want to go back to school.
But you can't love your job at the jelly factory.
No.
Seriously, that's not a career position, right?
Right.
But those days can turn into weeks, and weeks can turn into months, and then before you know it, you're getting your 5-year pin at the jelly factory, and really, that's what happens. You kind of start surviving instead of striving, and next thing you know, it's slipping away. What do you want to see her do?
Jelly's good and all, but I think I think she can do better in school, for sure.
Do you miss your mother?
Sometimes.
But you fear you would get back into this? So you think you should stay in Kansas?
Yeah. For right now, anyways.
And you say you're confused and don't really know what to do at this point, but if I were to arrange for you to have someone there to talk to, a professional that was just for you, nobody went but you, where you could sit down and kind of say, well, let me kind of sort some of this out, would that be of any interest to you?
Probably not, honestly.
Okay, that's okay. I think you have conducted yourself like a lady. I think you've been very honest with me and the questions I've had and the comments that I've made. And as a result, I'm very willing to try to help you in any way that I can. So if you want someone to talk to, at some point you tell me, I'll make it available. If you want to take that polygraph, again, we'll chalk that up to misunderstanding. I'll make that available to you. And we'll see if there's some basis for rebuilding this relationship with your family. If they owe you an apology, they need to give it to you. And
do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.